Hello, English 102 students. I wanted to go over a couple things with you. This is our first live session, but I am by myself this evening. So one of the things that I did want to talk about with you are the discussion forums that is a part of our class each week. Some weeks you will have 2 discussion boards and some you will only have 1, but each week you'll definitely have at least 1 discussion forum. So this first one, I wanted to point out a couple of things. In here you can see that there are a choice of prompts. Okay, so if you look in here, you only have to respond to at least 1. You can respond to more. I recommend usually just picking 1 and really focusing in on making sure that's a thorough answer that you're providing. So you can see that there are several choices there. And then I wanted to kind of go over the process of submitting it and what you're going to be doing throughout the week, and then also how it'll be graded. Of course, you will, when you are ready and you've read through everything and you've read the stories, you're going to click down here to this reply here button, and that will be where everyone will post their initial post. And just be aware that there is a 30-minute delay after that, so you won't be able to see either your post just yet or anyone else's post. Just to kind of there's just a little bit of a lag time. So a couple other things to keep in mind: your main response should be around 150 words. So that's generally 2 pretty solid paragraphs. Okay, and then once you have submitted your own response to one of the prompts, you are going to come back in and read what your classmates have read, and I'll be posting as well, adding to the conversation. Sometimes I'll pull in some different resources that help what we're talking about in any given week, but just to make sure that you are continuing the conversation and being engaged. So that would make this first post, post number 1, and then you have 2 more, a minimum of 2 more. So that's a total of 3 different posts. So when I pull up your grade at the end of, when I pull up the discussion board at the end of the week, it shows it by student, so it'll show how many posts you did throughout the week. So if you did 3, then I'll see those 3 posts and then be able to see. So we talked about the 30-minute delay. Also, anytime that you are using anything from either the primary source, the actual story that we're reading, or if you have located a resource in our library, then you would want to use that MLA citation. And of course, those links are in the class if you need a refresher. And I wanted to point out one other thing, to look at the rubric. So if you just remember that you're going to want to be engaged, you're going to have 3 posts. You want to be active on at least 2 different days. And part of that is not to make sure that there's so many days that students are in there, but what happens if we don't have that time where students are in there more than once a week, then everybody posts kind of at the end of the day on Sunday. So then it really doesn't lend itself to a very active discussion. So, as any time when, guidelines are set up with courses, it's usually because something has happened before. So that's just something to keep in mind. So that way it kind of keeps going throughout the week of an active discussion. And there has been a great showing so far for week 1. So this is in the syllabus, which you have access to, and then this is just, this section of the syllabus is called Discussion Forum Guidelines, and it goes through everything that I just stated, the engagement and the timing. Oh, that was one thing I didn't mention, is that for the main discussion each week, those will be due by Wednesday, again, to kind of keep that conversation flowing and going throughout the week. And then on the weeks when there are 2, you have that first one due on Wednesday, and then the initial post for the second discussion forum due on Friday, and then everything closes on Sunday. So these are all of the areas that you will be evaluated on for these forums, so make sure that you are reviewing those. All right. So this, just to recap, this was just a little bit about the discussion forum guidelines, and this is what we would have talked about today in the live session. So hopefully you will be able to join in the next one. See you in class.